So if you could give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you hear me? All right, awesome. Okay. So my name is Ranger Tom, and I'm so glad that y'all are with me today. Have y'all noticed that it's raining outside? Maybe some of you have? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One easy way that I found to be able to talk on the computer is if you push, it's called the space bar. It's the long thing right near the bottom of the keyboard. If you push that down, you'll be able to talk. And then if you let it go, it'll go back to mute.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Well, good. That's you learned something already. That's what I like to hear. All right. Well, it is a rainy day, and I am in my park cabin right now. So I'm a park ranger.
It just
Yeah,
looks like a bunch of bricks.
that I have y'all been to Mount Jefferson? Have any of you been to Mount Jefferson before?
Yes.
Some of you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't. No, to drive first city for.
It's a really big mountain. It's up behind, for some people it's behind Walmart. Other people say, well, it's behind the high school. Other people on the other side of the mountain, they say, well, it's behind the big courthouse in Jefferson. But that big mountain.
I
Yeah.
have been here. I have been there.
You haven't yet? Okay. So if you go to the park, if you were to go, just to, first of all, a lot of kids don't realize what a park is. Most of the time kids think of, and so do grown-ups too. They think of a park as maybe like a playground or like a place behind the library or something in your schoolyard that you go and play. This kind of a park is different. If you have ever imagined, have you ever wondered if there's a place where animals could go and just be free and not have to worry about being hunted and not have to worry about any kind of problems? They could just live and do what they do in the woods and just be animals. Have any of y'all wondered about? I did when I was your age. Well, I found out. Yeah.
I've been to Mount Jefferson before to eat. I have.
Okay.
Not to the tippy top, but my parents told me to the tippy top and then went back down.
Well, eating is something that happens a lot on Mount Jefferson. Now, on the mountain, we have animals that are running loose and they're living wild and free, and they just go off in the woods. They stay away from people. But in the mornings, do you think, since I live here in the park, do you think I get up in the morning and I go out and feed all the animals?
Yeah.
What do y'all think? Anybody else? Anybody else think? Yes or no?
I think you do, Ranger Tom. Yeah.
So wait a minute. Wait. So you think I go out and I feed every fly and every caterpillar and every frog and every toad and every deer and every bug in the whole park every day?
I think they find their own food.
You think I wake up and I go out and do that?
Yes. Yes.
No, I can't. I couldn't do that. No,
I
no,
do.
no, that's not the way. No, I've been on this mountain for 16 years and I've never had to do that. We don't even want to feed the animals in the park. Because the animals get their food from nature. They get their food from what we call the food chain. The food chain, yeah. So when you think about the food chain, there's a lot of things that are all working together. And one of the things that's involved in the food chain is this stuff that's falling from the sky today. What's that called? What's falling from the sky today? Rain. Well, how does the rain get up into the sky?
Wow.
Clouds? Okay. Well, how does it get up into the clouds?
When it rains, water comes when water comes down and when it hits the ground, sometimes the water can the clouds can suck up back that water and the rain can go back into the clouds and rain down again.
You know, I think you might have something there. I think you hit that, and what you just described was called the water cycle. Could y'all stand up for a second wherever you're at? Can you stand up? This is the way I remember the water cycle. So here's what I do. First of all, I imagine myself, I'm a drop of water, okay? So I'm a little drop of water. So I'm going to squat down like a drop of water, and you'll see my, there we go, here's my hat, so you can see me. So squat down, you're a drop of water, and all of a sudden the sun comes out, and you evaporate and go up into the skies. So say evaporation.
Evaporation.
Evaporation. There you go. Evaporation. And then you do, like you said, you get together with all the other clouds, and that's called condensation. Condensation. Then when you come down in the form of rain or snow, that's called precipitation. All right. We're going to add some music to this. Get ready. You ready? So squat down. Evaporation. Condensation, precipitation. The water cycle boogie goes up and down. Water cycle boogie goes round and round.
And it goes down.
I think you got it. I see y'all got that. Yeah, so that's where water is coming from. It's from a cycle, another cycle that happens every day in nature in the park. And I don't have to go turn the water on. It happens automatically. It happens because our planet, because the Earth, this is a globe here, our planet has cycles that are already in place and working. Now at Mount Jefferson, we have these signs around the park that says State Park. If you go up to some of the trees outside the park, you'll see that it goes all the way around Mount Jefferson. When you see those signs, you know you're in the park, and you can't hunt, you can't take any plants, because all the animals and plants are protected there. And they're all getting their food and their water all from nature, all from the systems that are already happening on the earth all the time, every day. All right. So let's figure it out. So one more time, you want to do the water cycle boogie again? Just a quick reminder, how does the water get into the sky? We squat down. Ready? Evaporation.
And it goes down. And it goes up.
Condensation. Precipitation. Water cycle boogie goes up and down. Water cycle boogie goes round and round. All right.
Turning tornado speed.
So what I've just shown you was a little bit of science. That was some science. We saw how the water gets to the ground through science. Another way that you might describe Mount Jefferson, rather than through science, you might want to use something like art. You might want to paint a painting of Mount Jefferson. Or like this one student did from Ashe County, she wrote a poem about Mount Jefferson. Here we go, here's a poem.
Varieties of plants, flowers, and butterflies, so spellbinding they are. The tune of the birds and the pitter-patter of the squirrels and chipmunks looking for nuts is nature's music. I feel microscopic, like a tiny bug, when I look at the land before me. I feel different on this mountain, but in a good way. Wonderful when the wind blows through my hair and I close my eyes and smell the sharp, fresh air. And when I'm at the peak, I look down and feel like the king of the world. I own this mountain. Everyone does. I will protect this land. I will protect it so it will feel as happy as I do.
Wasn't that a beautiful poem? She was in 3rd grade when she wrote that poem about Mount Jefferson. So she didn't use science, she used poetry. Or you can again describe nature with art. But today we are going to focus more on the science side of things. So one thing I wanted to kind of talk about, I wouldn't mind turning off the kitchen light for a second. Let's think about Mount Jefferson. Where is Mount Jefferson? Can y'all see this globe? Kinda? Let's see. So Mount Jefferson is here in North Carolina. That's where we are. And is it always daytime in Mount Jefferson? Is it always daytime here? Or does it turn into, is it nighttime too? Is there nighttime and daytime? Yeah, there
Nighttime
is.
and daytime.
Yeah, so why does that happen?
What?
Well, the thing is, Mount Jefferson, just like the whole country here, is on a giant round thing called the Earth. And you see sunny, right over here, you see that sunny area? So as the, and remember, go ahead and mute your mics. If you have your microphones open, go ahead and mute your mics if they're open right now, because it's creating a little feedback. And then if you have a question, let me know. Say Ranger Tom, and then I'll answer your question.
Ranger Tom.
Yes.
I did also it one day. I did when I live in Ash. I did American also. I went in another state from my state.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. There's 50 of them. So that's interesting. We're gonna go ahead and see now, how does the Earth actually moves? It rotates. I have this. There we go. So the Earth goes like this. So as the Earth is moving on this side of the Earth, see where the light is? That's daytime. And then on this side over here, see where my hand is? That would be nighttime. So day and night happens every 24 hours. The Earth goes like this. It makes a rotation like this. And that's day and night. Now, while that's happening, there's also something else that's involved. And it's a round thing. Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah.
What would be a round thing that's going around the Earth? What goes around the Earth? It's a big object in the night sky that we see sometimes.
The moon.
The moon, absolutely. We have the moon that's going around the Earth while the Earth is spinning, and the Earth is going around the sun too. And every time it goes around the sun, that's a whole year. Every time it spins one time, that's a whole day. And then we have the moon. So let's talk about the moon for just a second. So the moon, does it look the same every night? Does it always look the same? No, absolutely not. Some nights you don't see any moon at all, and we call that the new moon. And yeah, good idea. We'll turn the lights back on. So we have the new moon. And then as the moon starts to get a little bit, you start to see it starts to show up. We see that sliver. When it's just a little sliver of moon in the night sky, we call that waxing. The waxing crescent. And then it gets a little bit bigger a few days later, and we call that the first quarter. And then it looks like it's even bigger, but it's not bigger. It's just the light is changing. The shadows are changing. We call that the waxing gibbous. And then finally, we have the big full moon that happens every month. And you notice the word month and the word moon, they sound an awful lot alike, don't they? That's where the name moon or month came from, was the month. So every month we have a full moon. And then it starts to look like it's getting smaller. And so it's getting smaller, so it's sad, so it whines. It's wham, whining, wham, whining. So we call it a waning, not whining, but waning moon. That means it looks like it's getting smaller. Wham, whining, waning. So it's a waning gibbous. And then the third quarter. And then the little waning crescent. And then it goes right back to the new moon, the no moon. And then it starts all over again. And it does that.
And the stars come out. And the stars come out too.
You're right, the stars do come out. And this is something, if you ever go camping and lay out under the stars for hours and maybe drift off to sleep and then wake up.
Obviously a tent.
Yeah, or if you're in a tent, if you stick your head out the tent, you'll notice that the stars seem like they've moved during the course of the night. And it's not the stars that aren't so much moving, but the Earth, because the Earth is moving, it looks like the stars are moving. Yep, go ahead. I heard somebody say Ranger Tom.
It's also I want to top a mountain. I want to be top. I was so scared. We all rolled down, and then I went on walk. I was flying in the sky.
and I accidentally hit a tree, and then I landed on top of a tree, and then I climbed back down.
Did you have fun on the mountain though? Isn't it fun to be outside?
Yeah, but when I was rolled on down it, and I went on the walk and landed in the tree, that's too scary.
Okay. Well, now that we've got the Earth, what is the Earth made out of? What do you think the Earth's made out of, by the way? I'll give you.
Nature.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to give you three choices. Do you think it's made out of cheese? Do you think it's made out of jelly beans, or do you think it's made out of rocks?
Rock.
Yeah, rocks.
Rock.
Definitely.
Rocks.
Super hard rocks. And
Yeah.
if the Earth breaks to two, that means it's starting to split to two, and it's turning to two Earths.
I ran your mom.
Yes.
Look at my lizard.
What?
Look at my lizard.
Let me see if I can see it. I don't know if I can see it. Let's see. I'm going to get a different view on my screen here so I can look to see the lizard. Wow, look at it. Okay, my goodness. Okay, that is pretty wild. That's a pretty amazing looking lizard. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to get a picture. All right. Wow. Okay. There's a bunch of y'all. So this is one rock. And this is another kind of rock. These rocks are all part of basically what the Earth is made out of. But rocks do sometimes break down. And what do you think they turn into when they get really, really small? What do rocks turn into when they get small?
Dirt.
Yay, you got it. Let's look at some dirt. Oh my goodness, where's the dirt? There it is. There's the dirt. And this dirt is wet. And some dirt is really good at holding water. And when it holds water well, it can allow plants to grow. Plants like this plant, which lives on Mount Jefferson, is called spice bush. Let me see if I can move my camera. So the spice bush tree lives in the dirt.
Does the spice bush grow?
It grows all over the park. It grows all over the park, and these leaves, see these green leaves?
Yeah.
What they do is they're outside and the sun shines on them, and then the energy, all that power from the sun goes right into these leaves, and it makes the leaves have energy. And since they have energy, things want to eat them. Remember I said at the beginning, I don't have to go around and feed all the animals in the park? Well, let's see. Let me see. I'm going to show you a piece of tree here. This is a tree here that gets the same energy from the leaves. But what's wrong with this tree?
It's cut.
It's cut, but
beaver.
look at something ate it. It was a beaver. And a beaver has these really flat teeth and really soft fur. Let's take a look at the soft fur. This is a beaver fur here.
How did you get it?
We buy these. We bought them. We didn't go out and get it or anything. We bought it. So it actually came from an estate in Pennsylvania. So same with this. This is a skull of a beaver. See where the eyes are? That's where the eyes are. And look at its tooth. Look at its teeth. Those teeth are what eats the tree. So it eats the tree, and now the energy that was in the sun went into the tree, and then the energy that was in the tree went into the beaver. So now energy is gone from the tree to the beaver. You think it just stays there?
No.
No, I think it goes somewhere else. We have another animal up here called the coyote. And the coyote, with these sharp teeth, will eat the beaver. And the beaver ate the tree, and the tree got its energy, remember the spice bush, from the sun. And the sun is this giant star that our planet goes around every day. Isn't that great? I don't have to feed all the animals because they're getting them from this really neat system of plant eaters and meat eaters. Now, do you think this same kind of system happened when dinosaurs lived on the earth? Let's take a look.
Yes.
Well, a long time ago, when dinosaurs lived on the earth, there were plant eaters and they had flat teeth, like this flat tooth here. This is from a Apatosaurus. And there were animals with these big sharp teeth. Look how big that tooth is. Do you think that's from a plant eater or a meat eater?
That's a T-Rex.
That is a T-Rex. This is a T-Rex tooth. And this is an
Or
Apatosaurus.
Indominus one.
Just like this is a coyote tooth. Today, we don't have T-Rexes today, thank goodness. But we do have coyotes, and they're so cool. And we have beavers. And the coyote will eat the beaver. And the energy from the sun goes into the beaver and then into the coyote. Now, if something happens to the coyote one day might die, and it'll start to decompose in the forest. And then an animal like these two might come along. Oh, I'm walking through the woods. Oh, look, there's a coyote here. This animal might eat the dead coyote. What's this?
A skunk?
Skunk, yeah. Now,
Ugh.
skunks do get a little stinky. So yeah, they are a little ooh.
Honey
But-
bag.
I hope
can
we
you-
don't sell one.
Hey, can you smell that through the computer?
No.
No, you can't. You can't. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness, it's so stinky.
I
Oh,
imagine it's
oh, I'm gonna put this thing away. It's too
At
stinky.
least you had the stinky smell.
Oh, my poor-
So I went in the woods before. I see the skunk and it jumped on me and farted all over me so I could feel the stink. Then I just fluid wiped it back in the woods off.
Well,
of me.
yeah, you want to stay away from skunks. What do you think this animal is?
Raccoon.
Yeah, raccoon.
Yeah, this is a raccoon.
I could
It's
tell
a
by the tail.
raccoon.
Hey, Ranger Tom,
Yes.
if you get stung by a skunk, you have to take a bath in tomato soup.
That's what they say. I don't know. I'd ask your parents about that one. That's outside of the park, so I don't know. So let's go back to the plant for a second, because the plants, all the plant eaters eat these plants, and then the meat eaters eat the plant eaters. But let's talk about us. You know, when we think about dirt, here's the dirt. Do we eat dirt? No, I don't eat dirt.
eat dirt. Eat dirt?
No. But does your food come from dirt?
No.
Does pizza come from dirt? Do you think pizza comes from dirt? Well, let's think about it. Does a pizza have crust? Does a pizza have a pizza crust? Well, the pizza crust had to come from flour, and the flour came from a plant called wheat, and wheat is a plant that grows in the dirt. What about the cheese? The cheese, does the cheese come from dirt? No, but wait a minute. Cheese comes from milk, and milk comes from a cow, and a cow eats grass, eats plants. So you can't have cheese if you don't have plants, and you can't have plants if you don't have dirt. What about candy? Does candy come from dirt?
No way.
All sugar. No, wait a minute. All the
Sugar
sugar.
cane comes from farms, and that's why candy is made from sugar cane.
There you go. Good job, Becky. Is it Becky? That was awesome.
Bailey.
Bailey. Okay. Thank you, Bailey. Yeah, you're right, Bailey. That's absolutely right. It grows in the dirt. So here's the way I remember this. It's a song, and I'm going to teach it to you real quick, and we'll try and sing it. It's called Dirt Made My Lunch. Here we go. It goes, dirt made my lunch, dirt made my lunch. Thank you, dirt. Thanks a bunch for my salad, my sandwich, my milk, and my munch. I'm not going to eat this dirt. Dirt, you made my lunch. Okay, here we go. Dirt made my lunch. You're supposed to sing along. Dirt made my lunch. Dirt made my lunch. Thank you, dirt. Thanks a bunch for my salad, my sandwich, my milk, and my munch. Dirt, you made my lunch. Dirt's really
Silly
important.
song.
It's a silly song, but it reminds me that dirt is important for our food. And it's also important for all the animals that live in the park and all the plants that live in the park.
How's that important for animals?
What's that?
The Ranger Band is important for animals.
Yeah, dirt is important for all the animals. Yeah, absolutely it is.
But
Yeah,
how is it?
It's special for flowers too.
it is special for flowers. And you know what?
Actually,
This-
worms eat dirt too.
the worms also make the dirt really, really rich and healthy and good and strong too. Good.
But actually, they eat dirt too.
What do you think that red thing is right there? Can y'all see the little red thing?
Yeah.
No.
Let's see, I'll point to it. What's that?
Oh, I see it.
A chrysalis.
That's a good guess. Wait a minute, it's growing out of the leaf. It's growing out of the plant.
It looks like a tomato.
Oh, it's really small.
A chrysalis.
Would you guess that this is a seed?
A chrysalis.
Well, no, it's actually a seed from the plant. So if I was to plant this in the ground, if I was to take this, I'm going to take it right now, and I'm going to put it in the dirt. Here's my dirt. Here we go. I'm going to put it in the dirt, and I'm going to cover it up. Nice, and it's nice moist dirt. And now, if I was to put this outside in the sun, it would start to grow, and it would turn into a whole new plant. Think that's possible?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think that
definitely.
might happen.
Ranger Tom,
Uh-huh.
I have a special case called Little Passport. It's all about science. I have some stuff in it I can show you guys.
Okay. You have some science stuff? We'll wait till the very end with this to see but since you mentioned science, let's go ahead and mute our mics for a second. Go ahead and mute your mics. Let's see.
I already muted.
Let's look at another animal that lives in the park. What I'm gonna bring it up. You tell me if you think it's a plant eater or a meat eater.
A plant eater. A
Plant eater.
Either.
Let's look at its teeth.
The short
What
teeth are
do you think this is?
A deer and a plant eater. Oh.
It is. So we look at the teeth.
Plant eater, Ranger Tom.
You're
It's a
right.
plant eater.
It is a plant. You're absolutely right. It's a plant eater. See how flat the teeth are? See how flat those are? Let's see. So that tells us it's got to be a plant eater. So it munches and crunches all these leaves down, and then it eats it. So the energy, again, goes from the sun to the plant eater, and then it goes into an animal that might decide to eat the plant eater, like maybe a coyote or maybe a bobcat or some other kind of animal that might be up here on the mountain. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Another animal that lives up here. Oh boy. Okay, I found it. Here it is. I got it. Now here's another kind of animal that lives up here. This is the skin of it. What do you think this is the skin of?
A snake.
Snake.
It is a snake skin.
Snake.
Now,
That's
when
For
when
some
a
reason it
snake,
looks like a honeycomb.
A big snake.
it is a big, have you ever had to get a new pair of shoes because your feet got too big for your shoes?
Yeah.
That's what a snake does when it sheds its skin. When it
When
gets
it
too
takes-
big for its skin, it sheds
It
it off and it
out.
falls into the ground.
And then it gets new skin.
That's exactly right. Now, what does snakes eat?
Snakes eat when
Animals.
snakes eat mice.
They eat mice. They do eat mice, and that's why I love having snakes near my cabin and in my cabin here, because I do have mice, and I like it when the snakes eat the mice. But do they eat little bugs too sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we think about bugs, okay, let's go back to the food chain and the energy. From the energy goes to the sun. Energy comes from the sun. It goes into the plants, into this green stuff we call chlorophyll. That's the green stuff that turns the light into sugar and starch into food. And then the bug eats this, and then the snake eats the bug. What do we call bugs that have 6 legs and 3 parts? Starts with an I. Have you heard the...
Insect.
Yeah, who said that? Is that Caden?
Yeah.
Yeah, good job, Caden. Now, if you want to, since Caden knows this, Caden, you can help me with this, okay?
Okay.
To remember what are the parts of a bug, I do this. I always put my hand on my head, hands on my head, and I say a bug has a head, it has a thorax, and then it has an abdomen where its belly is. So head, thorax. Let me back up a little bit so you can see me. I think. Here we go. And there we go. Okay, so it has a head, thorax, abdomen. Head, thorax, abdomen. Can you all say that? Head. Let's. Okay, so put your hands on your head. Head, thorax, abdomen. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs. All right, we got to add music to this now. Okay, here we go.
What did you say, Mommy?
Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. 1, 2, 3,
That
4,
makes no
5,
sense.
6 legs. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. You want to try a little faster?
No.
Let's try it a little faster. Okay, you can do it. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen.
I don't want to do
1,
it.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. All right, let's try it really, really super fast now. Ready? Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs. Head, thorax, abdomen, abdomen. Woo! All right. So what are the 3 parts of an insect? Head,
Head,
thorax,
up,
and
thorax,
abdomen. How many legs does an
abdomen.
insect have?
6.
6.
Yes.
Good job.
Spider is an insect that has 8 legs.
Well, that's whoever said that. That's a great word. A spider. They actually called.
I said that.
You said. Well, that,
Arachnids is what they're called.
yay! You got it. Nailed that. That was really good. Arachnids. Yay! Good job. That's what a spider is. A spider's an arachnid, and an insect, it has the 6 legs. An insect's an insect. Yeah.
And an arachnid has 8 legs.
And a spider has 8 legs. An arachnid has 8 legs. Yeah. Okay. Why don't we do this now?
Okay,
Since
can I go eat now?
Oh.
Can I go eat my lunch?
Yeah. Well, wait. What made your lunch? Did Dirt make your lunch? Did you think whatever you have
I'm
for
eating
lunch?
pizza. I'm eating
You are?
pizza.
Well, if
I'm
it
eating
has.
pepperoni pizza. That's my favorite.
So,
I always want to have it for every day. Yeah.
does it have cheese on it?
Yes.
Well, if it has cheese on it, then it must have came from milk, and the milk must have came from a cow, and the cow must have eaten plants, and the plants got their energy from the sun, 93 million miles away from the earth. All that ways away, that energy from the sun came to the earth, went to the plant, the cow ate the plant, got turned into milk, the milk got turned into cheese, and it's going to go in your belly for lunch today. That's pretty wild, I think. I think that's pretty, and that's also how our animals in the park, they don't get pizza, but they get their energy naturally from these plants,
That is blown.
plant eaters, and all the different systems.
Ever gonna
All
eat
right.
Waggle? I'm not ever gonna eat Waggle cheese, but which I don't like Waggle cheese. I only like pizza cheese
Pizza
because it has
cheese.
sauce on it. The part I like it because it has sauce under it. That what makes it good enough.
What are you having for lunch, Krista? Or have you already had lunch?
I didn't have lunch yet. Only had breakfast.
All right. But since it's getting close to lunchtime, do y'all, for some people,
I'm
do y'all have any, do you have any questions before I get ready to head back to the park? Yes, Graham got, no, mute your mics. Graham's had his hand up.
I had no questions. I had for lunch today. I had macaroni and cheese and broccoli.
Okay, broccoli is a plant, so the energy from the sun went right into that plant. You're going to eat it just like a beaver or another plant eater would.
Macaroni and cheese came from cheese.
Right, and the macaroni comes from flour, and flour comes from wheat. That comes from the sun. Energy comes from the sun for.
Roots.
Good job, Graham. Anybody else? Any other questions? I'm looking for a hand to be up,
What
and then I'll
about
call.
roots?
Sun can grow fruit and veggies.
Yes, yeah. Mateo, is that your name?
Yeah.
You have yeah. Go ahead. What's your question?
My question is that I was going to show you outside how it is. How it is
Okay.
outside.
Well, I see a lot of green outside, so that must mean there's plants, and the sun's energy is going into those plants. Is it raining outside where you're at?
Yep, there's a lot of green.
Yeah.
There's
A lot of green.
A lot of, yeah. So the water, so there's water going into the soil out there. The soil is probably holding as much of the water as it can. And then that water will go right up the roots of the plants. Yes, Krista, what's your question?
Our old house, the little pond, we didn't have a pond, we didn't buy one, a mud puddle, there's like 5 frogs, and there's babies. They had no mom or dad, so we saved them and we put them in my grandma's pond. And my dad thinks since it's getting so chilly these seasons, they're hiding in rocks. But
Yeah,
rocks at Mimi's house.
Krista, you're right. What we did the same thing when my daughter was little, and we found out that the frogs crawl into the mud and they cover up with mud like a blanket, so it's nice and cozy and warm. And that's where they stay a lot of times during the winter. And they kind of
Also they live in swamps too.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of swamps here in Ashe County, though, is there?
Actually, there's
It's a long drive.
alligators have swamps. That's what it was. So about alligators.
Okay.
Alligators could bite your whole
I
arm.
see. Okay. Well, thank you, Krista. Any other okay, Joseph, you have a question. Push down on your space bar.
Dolphin louds it when they drink, the water goes up to the part while the hose, and when they need to breathe, they go up it, and then they squirt the water out the hole when they drunk it.
They do. Those are neat, and they're mammals. I love dolphins. I wish we had dolphins in Ashe County, but I don't think they'd like it up here. There's not enough ocean, is there?
There ain't no ocean up though. If there was an ocean, our whole world will be covered with the ocean.
Well, North Carolina, one of the neat things about our state, North Carolina, it has a place where there are dolphins in North Carolina out on the coast. And we have in our state, we have mountains that have deer. We have all kinds of different places where animals can live all over our state. So they're all different places, and the animals live in those places because that's where they're supposed to live, in those, either in the water, fresh water, or salt water, in the mountains, or down in the low areas. Logan, what's your question? You want me to come back to you? Okay. Emily, did you have a question?
How turtles live?
Turtles? Yeah, well, turtles, they do have shells and they do walk really slowly, but they live here in the mountains. I see box turtles up here on Mount Jefferson quite a lot. They live up here and they eat different types of plants. So they're plant eaters and they just kind of munch away at the plants. And they might eat some other things from time to time, but yeah, they'll just kind of live up here in the mountains and then they kind of go they hibernate during the winter time. They have places to go and they kind
What
of
about sea turtles?
And
now sea turtles, great question, Emily. Thank you for your question, Emily. Sea turtles live on the coast of North Carolina, and they come in and they lay their eggs on islands like at Hammocks Beach State Park. And then this time of year, right now, probably tonight, there'll be some baby turtles that are going to erupt out of the sand, and then they're going to run down to the ocean and swim away into the ocean. And then when they're grown-ups, they'll come back, and then they'll lay their own eggs back there at Hammocks Beach State Park again, maybe 20 years from now.
male sea turtles only get out of the water to lay their eggs only once.
Yeah, just not very often. Yeah. Caden, what's your question?
I got a little kitten.
Oh, is that a real kitten?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cute kitten. And so is that kitten a plant eater or a meat eater? What do you think? Do you think it would like to rather have a cheeseburger, or do you think it'd rather have a piece of broccoli? I bet it's a meat eater. I think cats are kind of like meat eaters. You got two kittens. Yeah, those are meat eaters. They have the sharp teeth. Remember the sharp teeth like the coyote?
Yeah.
So the sharp teeth, that tells us if it has the sharp teeth, then that's a meat eater. Yep, Graham, what's your question? Push down on the space bars. There you go.
Do you have owls?
Yes, we do have owls. And an owl, the kind of owls we have up here, we have three kinds. One is the barred owl, and y'all kind of try and sing this song if you want to. It goes who cooks for you all, it says. And we also have the great horned owl, which says. So the owl, when an owl hunts, it has really good night vision. And it will turn its head and its ears, listen for a mouse.
It can turn
And
its head all the way around.
Almost all the way around, not quite all the way around. Pretty close to all the way, but not quite. And when it turns, it looks, and its wings are made to be very quiet. So it doesn't go whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It goes like this. Very quiet. And then it grabs onto the mouse with its claws, and those are called talons. And you hear a whack. It eats the whole mouse down. Remember, the mouse got its food from plants, and the plants got its food from the sun. So now all that energy goes into the owl, and the owl digests as much of it as it can, and then it pukes up this thing called a pellet that's about this big, and it's got all the bones inside of it. And I take sometimes those pellets, they're clean, and I bring them to the schools, and we open them up, and we can actually look at the bones, the dried bones of the mice and other animals that the owl ate. It's pretty neat. But that's, again, how the energy goes from the sun to the plants, to the plant eater, the mouse, and then into the owl, and then it continues in the food system. Again, that's why I don't have to feed the animals in the park. It's a system that runs all by itself, because it's the way nature's.
The mouse eats the.
What's the what?
Here's a food chain. The mouse eats the the seed.
Yeah, the mouse eats the seed.
The seed drinks the water. The mouse eats the seed. The owl eats the mouse and other animal, maybe like a coyote, eats the owl.
Yeah, there you go. You've got a food chain there. And part of my job as a park ranger is to protect that system. not just the different animals, but the whole big way that they take care of each other, that they feed off of each other, to take care of that whole system. And that's part of our job as people, is to make sure that nature is protected, that those systems can run by themselves automatically. They've been going on a long time ago. They've been going on since T-Rex was on the earth more than 65 million years ago. So these kind of systems have been running. Plant eaters, meat eaters, plants, the sunshine, making the plants grow, and then the things that eat everything after it's dead, which are called the worms and decomposers. All that's been working for a long time. Joseph, do you have a question? What's your question?
Mouses, they have the same teeth as beavers. So
Yes.
when tigers need help, sometimes mouses come and help them and chew from the ropes, and then the lions catch them and eat them.
Yeah, you're right, and they're called rodents. So let me get where you can see it good. Can you see the teeth good? Yeah, those are the same kind of teeth that a mouse has, except they're teeny, much smaller. But you're absolutely right. These are all in the same family called rodents. And yeah, you got mice, and you have rats, and you have beavers, and you have other kinds of critters that are like that, have these two teeth like this that are used for gnawing away. Good observation.
And also bunnies have them.
Oh, okay.
So they could chew hard things too. And also my cat could eat anything, even bones.
Okay, yeah, because it's a meat eater.
When I give it, it would like even eat anything. It makes holes from anything. It like every day I sit down, it jumps up and grabs it and eats it. Every little thing she sees, she eats.
Yeah, that's those.
She could even chew up a shell, but not in one bite.
Thank you, Joseph. Becky, I see you have your hand up. Becky, do you have your question?
It's Bailey, not Becky.
It says Becky on the thing. Okay, I'm
That's
Bailey.
my mom's name.
Oh, okay. All right, sorry, Bailey. What's your question, Bailey?
Do butterflies really gather up on trees as a family, like every single butterfly?
Yeah, but what butterflies do, they do gather up. They're usually looking
butterfly.
for nectar. They're looking for the sweet stuff that's in a plant. And so different butterflies will gather around different plants because they like that nectar. And remember, a butterfly is just one part of the cycle. The butterfly lays eggs on the leaves, and then those eggs hatch, and then eventually a little caterpillar crawls around, and then it goes into the chrysalis, and then it comes out as the butterfly and lays more eggs, and then it goes through again and again. So yeah, I've seen many different kinds of butterflies around the same flowers. I've seen monarchs and pipevine swallowtails and other butterflies all around the same kind of flower because they were looking for the nectar. So yeah. But there's some neat things. What? Go ahead, Bailey.
Are monarchs the red and black butterflies? The orange and black?
They are, Bailey, and since you're interested, I'm going to tell you a little thing. They are the red and black ones, but there's another one that looks like them, and they're called viceroys. Have you heard of them before? In nature, sometimes animals, they have to be pretty tricky to live, to survive, because like Joseph, I think, was talking about his cat, some animals just eat anything. So the monarch, when it eats certain plants, it gets stuff into their system. So if another animal eats it, they get a little sick and they're like, oh, I don't want to ever eat one of those nasty monarchs again because it tasted so bad and gave me a bellyache. So another butterfly called a viceroy, it looks like the monarch, but it doesn't give a bellyache if you eat it. but the other animals think, oh, wow, that's one of those monarchs over there. I better not eat that. So it's a trick that the viceroy plays on the other animals. It makes the other animals think it's a monarch by the way its colors are. So another animal won't eat it because it's afraid it's going to give them a bellyache. So there's the monarch and then the viceroy. If you get a chance, look up those two butterflies. Look for images of the monarch butterfly and the viceroy butterfly. And I think, Bailey, you might find the story interesting, how those two kind of live in the same world. Yep.
I have a question.
Yes, Krista.
This is what my frog looks like. The frogs I have. What type of frog are they?
It looks like it's got spots on it.
Yes, they have spots on them.
Is it really big?
And it has black dots on it.
I'm not sure. You're going to have to get a book on frogs to figure that one out. I will try and see if I can find a picture of a frog with spots on it, and I'll let your teacher know.
Okay.
Would that, okay, but yeah, definitely look, though. Look in the book and see if you can find maybe a picture that has your frog in it. That's what I do.
Look, our fair book.
Yeah.
I know what kind of frog that is.
You
Yeah,
do?
what I do, my book.
My mom's phone is about to die.
Okay, I'm getting ready to go anyways, but just so y'all know, if you want to learn more about nature, you can get different nature books and see they have pictures of different kinds of plants
Mine still has full battery.
and different kinds of animals, and you can learn the names of those things. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and turn it back over to your teacher. Is the teacher still there?
No.
This is like when when I'm in the classroom and the teacher has to go out and has to do something. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm
now.
still here. I'm still here.
Okay, good.
Let me go up and
It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's a load to try to keep these on mute because they keep themselves off of mute and then it gets loud. So that's what I've been doing. I've been monitoring that quite a bit.
Okay, I think I have one or two more questions, and then I'm going to wrap up. I think Joseph and Logan. Logan, you had a question earlier. Did you got it now? Go ahead. What's your question? Oh, you got a cat, don't you? Okay. Plant eater or meat eater? Yeah, remember to push your space bar down so we can hear you. Yeah, it's a meat eater. I think you said meat eater. Right, Logan? You can just go nod if you, okay, good, okay. Joseph, what was your question?
Sometimes my cat could climb the most biggest trees on earth, and also she could even sometimes she likes fall, sometimes she doesn't. Not so the bugs, sometimes spiders when they catch flies, some butterflies also can also turn invisible, so nothing could but some butterflies could turn invisible, so spiders can't hurt them. And also when the spiders die, the invisible butterflies come up and use the stingers that are really tiny that on our teeth. Actually, use the sharp teeth on the back to bite them, and then they die, and then they eat them.
Yeah, one of the things that you said they're kind of invisible. We call that camouflage. Camouflage. So if you lived in a forest that was all green like this, so it's all green, you would want to be green to kind of blend in with all the leaves. And that's called camouflage. So you're almost invisible when you're in those leaves using camouflage.
I was talking about my big cat. That's Julie, and I also got two kittens. One's name Onyx, and one's name Ashes, and also I'm gonna say, my first one is really heavy, and also my two baby ones are so cute. You would always never one pet my all the other ones. You would only one pet my one black one. It is so tiny. It's even tinier than my gray one.
Okay, everybody, I'll put down our space bar, and what do we for Ranger Tom for doing this for us? Everybody say it at one time. Space bar and say, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
And this
much.
was actually really fun.
I had fun too. I hope to see y'all again.
Fun, Ranger Tom.
Well, I had fun too. I want to see y'all again real soon. And we'll see you next time on our next field trip.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Next